I wonder if Galactus is like in the celestial family.
What?
So, Fantastic Four. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me 5.
What do we think about the new Fantastic Four trailer?
Shut up and take my money.
So since Marvel has 3 movies coming out this year, Captain America 4 next week, and then Thunderbolts in June or July, I think, between May, June, and July, whenever. And then we have Fantastic Four. No, I think Thunderbolts is May. I think so. May 20 something. And then we have Fantastic Four coming out in July. Out of these 3 Marvel movies, I have more excitement for Fantastic Four than I do for Captain America 4 or the Thunderbolts movie. And after seeing the trailer, I couldn't even sit down and be patient enough to do a trailer reaction. So hence me doing a trailer discussion. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Short, but I liked it.
Nice.
I'm trying to figure out if they had a strategy for this trailer, because out of all the 4 characters, I feel the easiest person or easiest character to pull off the CGI and the special effects for is Flamon, Johnny Storm, and Sue Richards, Invisible Woman. I feel those are the only 2 characters that CGI and special effects won't be trickier to do anymore this day and age. Yeah. Now Reed Richards, however, and then Ben Grimm. Boy, I did wonder why they didn't show Reed Richards. But I'm surprised and impressed that they showed Ben Grimm first. That one I thought, yes, that's smart. He felt like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. So whatever motion capture technology they use, it looks good. It looks very good. I love it. Not that I even like it, I love it.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what?
I'm satisfied with Ben Grimm because that was my first initial thought. You can throw Sue Storm easy, Flame On easy. Reed Richards, it's like Stretch Armstrong, but in the CGIs, you gotta do. I mean, we already saw him in
A few moments later.
in Doctor Strange, right? When the other actor played, I can't remember his name. The other actor played another version of Reed Richards. So cool. We didn't see him fight though, so I don't know if the budget was like, yo, we want to keep the budget for Scarlet and everybody else's, superpowers, but Reed is gonna be a little tricky. I feel you can pull off Reed Richards' powers very well in animation, easily. I don't have a good memory or a memory present in my mind of a very, very well done special effects for a guy who stretches. Again, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, when they had Reed Richards in that one, he didn't fight. He got torn apart by Scarlet Witch. So that wasn't him using his powers. That was just him being torn apart. So we didn't see anything of his powers.
He ain't lying.
If you were to give me an option of different characters to choose from to see a live action version from the Marvel comics, Fantastic Four would not be my first.
What do you mean by that?
Same as the Thunderbolts. But then again, maybe in the comics they have varying levels of the Thunderbolts characters or team up, just like you have varying levels of different team ups of the Suicide Squad in the comics. But the Fantastic Four would not be my go-to.
Too damn bad!
I want to see what Ghost Rider looks like in the MCU. Properly done.
He ain't lying.
Give some of these characters a dark universe in Marvel, so you can fling in Doctor Strange here and there from time to time. Doctor Strange is your bridge between the regular MCU we're used to and then the dark side of MCU, you know?
Get this man a shield.
Dealing with Dormammu, zombies, evil spirits, demons, dark spells, like real world stuff, like, soul crushing things.
Damn, son.
Those are real things that Doctor Strange can deal with. So the Fantastic Four wasn't my go-to list of all the characters I could think of to myself, like, yo, I'd like to see these guys in live action. Fantastic Four was definitely not on that list. But after seeing the trailer and just seeing Grimm, I'm like, oh, it's done well.
You don't understand.
He looks believable. He fits in that world. He doesn't look out of place or overly done.
What do you mean by that?
He just blends in with the world. If anything, is like he's the real person there, and then the world is the artificial thing around him. So I really love that they chose to show Benjamin Grimm first, the Thing, to convince the audience and to pull off everyone's powers. Ben is at the top, Reed is second, and then Sue and Johnny Storm are literally side by side at the bottom. Those guys are easy. You practically go invisible. How you then upgrade your invisibility powers and how you show said upgrade on display, you're gonna have to be smart about that one. I don't know how you're gonna pull it off, but you gotta be unique with it. Because people just be like, oh, it's just going invisible, yada, yada, yada. But if you're doing projectiles now, ooh, that's going to be clean.
You know how long I've been waiting for this?
I like to see how to pull off that one. Johnny Storm, fireballs, if you're touching something, concentration of, holding a particular object, but making sure the thing doesn't catch fire but melts. There's ways you can pull it off. But he and Sue Storm, easy. Reed Richards, however, now,
Here we
go.
I'd have loved to have seen them pull off something. Again, if this was animation, it'd be easy. Even if it was CGI animation, let alone traditional animation, it'll be easy. And you can make Reed Richards look like a master assassin if animated. I'd like to know more about his powers. Is he just someone that takes any form and stretches, or when he turns his body into a particular shape and size and whatnot, and like, can he alter his skin to match texture as well? Or is it just to take the shape and the form? And when you've taken the form of a thing, does his skin, not even skin, like his bone density, does it remain strong? Like if you're trying to emulate a hammer, can his skin become as solid as the hammer, or more solid than the hammer? Is that more solid than the hammer? Is that a term I can use? His skin is more solid than the hammer. Yeah, can his skin do that?
That boy is good.
I've never read the comics, the Fantastic Four comics. I know of them, and I know T'Challa handed them their backside. Or is it T'Challa or T'Chaka that handed them their backside one time in the cartoons, and Captain America?
He ain't lying.
So I know those stories, but I don't know how good Reed Richards is. I know out of the four of them, if I was playing a Fantastic Four game and it was a co-op game, I'm choosing Ben Grimm and expecting my partner to choose Johnny Storm, not Sue Richards or Reed Richards. No offense to both of them, just because Grimm is a powerhouse and Johnny Storm can fly, and then projectile fireballs and whatnot. It's a slam dunk. Yeah. And that's also because I don't know what Sue Storm is capable of doing from the comics, and I don't have a full recollection of what her powers have looked like in the cartoons that I've watched with Fantastic Four, and I don't know the limitations of Reed Richards either. So again, he just stretches and can morph his body into certain, or parts of his body into certain objects in forms or shapes and sizes. But outside of that, what is the density of his skin and his bones? Because he's essentially, rearranging his atomic composition on demand.
Damn.
And then solidifying said atomic composition on demand. Like in a split second, he'll think of it and, he can stretch and then pull back. Just within that space of time, it's like his bones are malleable and solid at the same time. So after they go through the radiation belt and whatnot, does Reed Richards' atomic composition become stronger? Like does his atomic, does it? Like, did his body multiply his atoms? I know it's a silly or weird question to ask, but like, how can he stretch, or how far can he stretch? Does he have a limited or unlimited stretch range? Like, can he stretch far across a country or a landmass and recoil again? And then how long does it take to recoil the further he stretches away? So those things I would like to see them pull off. But again, because it's live action, I feel his power is the trickiest to pull off in terms of in a battle. You can show his smarts during conversations and then applying said equation and conversations into real life application, punching or stretching to cover this distance and then whatever. Or I guess if you can suffocate someone easily, he doesn't even need to stretch his arm around someone's face. And that's why I said he could practically, on paper, he's a master assassin. He doesn't need to do too much to kill someone. God damn! Suffocating someone, strangling someone, or if there was a dark version of Reed Richards, I imagine if I was him, I would stretch myself or parts of my arm into someone's gullet and you're done.
Damn, son.
Stretch my arm into someone's eyeball as thin as I can and then stretch out and then pop.
What does that mean?
On paper, he's dangerous.
Damn.
He's very dangerous. He could probably can he shrink? I don't think he can shrink, can he? Can he grow big like Ant-Man? I don't think he can shrink, but I don't see. These are the things I'd like to see. So I was looking forward to seeing him in action in the trailer. And it's funny, he's the only one they didn't show. Johnny Storm is flying. Sue Richards goes invisible. She's doing a force field blocking something. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, I can't even talk.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
I hope they don't pull off this nonsense Jean used to do that Sue did in the cartoons as well. When she pulls off something with the powers, Scott, I'm not in the mood for that.
I like this one.
I feel anything to do with telepaths moving forward, there should be no minor exertion of superpowers and then blacking out like they just, I don't know, shifted the whole planet from its axis from point A to B and then they pass out.
You don't understand.
You've just blocked projectiles and then you're fainting and asking for Scott. So I hope they make her competent and efficient enough on the battlefield on her own, so that way she doesn't have to call on Grim or Johnny or her husband anytime or every time. So I hope she can hold her own basically is what I'm trying to say.
He ain't lying.
And I'd like to see what they can do for her powers as well, but I'm more concerned about Reed Richards. I'm very, very deeply, highly satisfied, pleased with Benjamin Grimm's character. Beautiful. Whatever it is, the motion capture they've got him under is beautiful. It looks like it's a soft, slight upgrade from Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, because when I saw it I was like, oh, it feels like Hulk but with stones, even though it's a different actor underneath the mocap thing. So it just feels like they translated the same tech, obviously, that they use, the same mapping technology they use for Mark Ruffalo onto this actor who's playing Benjamin Grimm. But I'm satisfied, deeply satisfied, because the eye tracking is beautiful, you know. So I don't know how well they did that. I don't know if he had a mask on from time to time, but like I said, it feels like he's real and everything else around him is the artificial stuff. So they did a great job on that one. For me, I'm deeply satisfied with that one. So hopefully Reed Richards pulls, you know, his fight scenes are done clean enough. You want to have a balance, you know, balanced dance between all the four characters. Benjamin Grimm is that's a slam dunk. He's an easy slam dunk. If Doom is in this movie, he's going to be fighting Doom robots or Doom bots or whatever. If Doom is at the end credits, then cool. We need to see Benjamin Grimm, you know, clobber a high number of bad guys. And since I don't know what rating this is, so we can't see him crush bones in terms of fighting human beings, cool, but we need to see some humanoid robots or machines where he can just, you know, go all out, so we can see the extreme powers and strength of Benjamin Grimm. So I imagine that's going to be Galactus henchmen or hench bots or something.
Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
I did think to myself, I don't think this is the right time to introduce Galactus. But if this is a one-off, I'm satisfied, because I don't like his character.
That's just not my problem.
In terms of live action, again, animation or CGI, easy. You can easily pull him off anytime, anyhow. You can even have a backstory for him alone, and we'll see how he became Galactus. Was he born huge, or was he just constructed from, you know, cosmic dust, or what made him, or who made him, or does he have a mother, does he have a father, or did he self-create himself? You know, I'm slightly intrigued about his backstory or his origin. I can see Benjamin Grimm is going to be going through that whole I miss being human kind of thing. And obviously, just like every other movie or superhero movie, we're going to see the characters go through their ups and downs and their hero's journey and challenges, and then come together to be stronger together, especially being that they're a family. So I wonder how, I mean, again, like I said, I've not read the comics, so I imagine they're going to have some family issues and then publicity issues, yada, 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 I guess. From what I've seen with Emergency Awesome and other sources as well, we're being told something's going to happen that's going to make them or force them to enter our current MCU universe. So whatever time period they're in, whatever alternate dimension / time period they're in, I actually love that as well. It's I almost said steampunk, but it's that whole, is it 70s or 60s period? That old school feel, I love that.
He good.
I want this movie to at least explore that world, and since it's not in the same timeline with our current MCU universe, I want to see how things differ over there as well.
Nice.
So the time period, the setting, I love. Benjamin Grimm's look, I love very, very much. Yeah. His softness came through in just that one scene.
How's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
They did it clean. Yes, he's this big guy now. He's changed from what he used to be before, but he still loves cooking. You know, he's not put off. I wonder, well, I wonder if it took him a while to get to that stage where he's more comfortable, you know, to say, let me start cooking, can I still taste? I wonder what that was like. I don't know if they're going to even explore that as well. I didn't even know he could still taste stuff and eat food. I just thought his whole, well, he can speak, so certain parts of his body is still soft, I guess. And I imagine his organs are still working. Not everything has turned into stone. So I obviously on the outside, yes, but the internals, no. And that's pretty cool. And I wonder if anyone has actually attempted to kill him in the comics and how they've tried. Because if his internal organs are still functioning, then the best way to take him down would be poison, right?
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
Hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and your vital organs are still operating as normal, then yeah, poison would be the easiest way. Sniper rifle won't work. I hope they actually discuss how strong his body is. Like, you know, talking to the army, for example. Like, if I hit you with an RPG, would you, you know, disassemble? Like, has he ever been broken apart and then reassembled together on his own, or his retreaters had to reassemble him? Like, can he become a pile of rocks and reassemble himself? What? I would like to see a scene where he's with the army, or children are asking him, if you get shot, do you feel the bullet, or does the bullet bounce off? And then what kind of rock is he? Is he regular? Like, what kind of stone or what kind of rock is he? Like, is he space rock, or is he a particular kind of rock on Earth that we haven't encountered yet, or that we have but is not plentiful on the planet? So little things like that I'd like to see in the movie. I don't think they will put it in, but you know, I'm hopeful. But at least have a scene with the army or someone trying to take him down, and he's like, dude, I'm made of rocks, man. Because they're weapons that can go through freaking rocks. So I'd like to know what kind of rock formation he is. And it'd just be cool to have a soldier say, so can you take a sniper rifle? Can you take an RPG? Can you take a shotgun? Can you take a grenade launcher, you know? Can you take a grenade? Or like how strong are you? Can you crush tanks and whatnot? Or can you take a freaking, I don't know what they call them, M16s or whatever it is from a fighter jet, you know? Or like if a fighter jet was to crash into you, what are your limits, basically? So I hope those kind of scenes are in the movie.
Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
If this is where you guys are going with the whole look of the movie, I love the look, but Benjamin Grimm, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. And the costume, I love the costume, especially his. Like, damn, it just works. It just works. I was hopeful. I had my fingers crossed, because when I saw the trailer for Captain America, I was like, nah. Damn! Fantastic Four is only one movie out of these three movies that Marvel is dropping this year that I'm like, it's a 50-50. It's a massive 50-50. And on top of that, if you had asked me for any other characters, the first that comes to my head that I would have liked to pull from comic to live action and to be redone again, but properly and darker, Ghost Rider.
Damn.
Give me a trilogy of Ghost Rider and I'm satisfied. But I would have never picked Fantastic Four just because of my worry of how they would pull off Reed Richards' look during a battle scene. Because in the cartoons, he's done some cool stuff. But again, out of all the four of them, Grimm is going to be doing most of the fighting. Storm, Sue, and then the least, I assume, because of the budget, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, then the person on the bottom of the list would be Reed Richards, who would be probably given the fight plans or combine your powers like this to have this particular effect, because, you know, science and whatnot. And I'm cool with that, but you want to see all four of them kick ass together and individually. So I want to see them shine individually and together.
That boy is good. He ain't lying.
I imagine they're probably going to be doing some stopping of armed robberies and then fighting some robots just to showcase their powers. And I'm cool with that. I'm satisfied with that, as long as it comes off, you know, nicely and clean across the screen. I want to see how well they play with other characters in the MCU. I don't know when next they're going to feature them in our current MCU universe, but I hope that the story makes sense enough as to why they got yanked from their dimension or their parallel world into our current MCU timeline. So if there's an incursion on their world and they make it to our world, that makes sense. Or if Galactus comes and decimates their world, that'd be cool. What? That'd be cool, because normally in the past cartoons I've seen, they normally have a conversation, or they convince Galactus to leave their world alone. And because I've not read the comics, I don't know if they're variant stories in the comics where Galactus actually wins and not only decimates Earth, but actually kills the Fantastic Four of that Earth in that parallel reality. Which brings me to my next question as well.
Here we go.
I wonder if Galactus is like in the Celestial family.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Like, how would his creation work in their realm? Or is Galactus a being that can cross over into dimension? But then again, that becomes gimmicky, right?
I don't know what that means.
He can cross any multiverse and whatnot. Like, can Galactus do that? And can the Eternals do that? No, not the Eternals. What's the other people? Celestials, the bigger ones, the ones that created the Eternals. Can they cross over into alternate dimensions as well and parallel Earths willingly?
Willingly? Yes.
I assume they're aware of alternate dimensions and parallel Earths, because they're grand beings, they're divine beings, right? So they should be aware of other dimensions and other realities. Now I want to know, that's what I'm saying. I would like to know more about Galactus's backstory, what he is, how he is, and how he became to be what he is. Actually, no, let me scratch that. I don't want to see him in our current MCU timeline. Nah.
Nice.
What does that look like on the screen when you're fighting Galactus? It's like you fighting mosquitoes.
He ain't lying.
He's obviously that huge. So what does it look like Galactus fighting Fantastic Four and the Avengers and then the X-Men? If it's a one-off we're going to get of Galactus in this movie, and that's the only time. And maybe if they make a mention of Galactus again in the next movies to come, that's because Doom killed Galactus and then took his technology.
What do you mean by that?
Or controls Galactus, and he's under mind control from Doom to show you how powerful Doom is, that he conquered Galactus and he's using Galactus technology to dominate different realities and worlds. That'd be cool as well. But if we're getting Dr. Doom from Reed Richards' world, I wonder if they're both going to work together to say they can't save their Earth. But Reed has knowledge of parallel Earths and universes, and they've seen our current MCU, but they don't have enough sufficient tech to build this device that will take him from their current dimension into our MCU. That'd be a cool thing if Fantastic Four and Doom have to work together, even though Doom is the bad guy, aka Mr. Robert Downey Jr. That'd be nice, because I know the idea is to bring them to cross over to ours, and then if you're introducing, this is just me speculating, if you're introducing Galactus, since they're introducing Galactus early, in the first Avengers, first Fantastic Four movie, then I'm assuming that means Galactus wins in this movie, but before he decimates the whole planet, then they jump ship and end up in our current MCU. And then Doom tags along. Yeah, that's my speculation over.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. You keep digging.
Let me know what you feel and think about the Fantastic Four trailer. Are you guys satisfied with Benjamin Grimm's look? I know some people aren't.
Willingly, yes.
There must be a particular look and style of his character art in the comics right now. Or maybe people prefer the other version of him in the Michael B. Jordan. I keep saying Michael as if it's his movie, but you know what I'm talking about. The one where Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm, that movie. I like that look. I do, but without the costume, I don't know. But out of the three of them, out of the Chris Evans one, Michael B. Jordan, and this current one, I prefer this current one's Benjamin Grimm's look.
Nice.
By far. Instantly.
You don't understand.
Even though I've not seen him in full action, I just love the attire, the way, everything they've done for him, 100%. So it looks good. The next thing to do is to see him in action and see how he pulls it off. Anyway, I'm done talking. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite Fantastic Four movie and the favorite look of Benjamin Grimm. I have been your one and only multipotentialite neurodivergent host,
The Cosmic Jedi.
Signing out. Thank you for watching.